Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to boot camp. Coach Jazzi here, and I'm going to take y'all through a fun workout. So we don't need any equipment today. Just enough movement to be, or just enough space to be basically at your hands and toes on the ground. So enough space for your body length. I tried to make it a little bit 4th of July themed, in a different way. So we're doing lots of fours. So we're gonna do 4 rounds today, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. 4 movements. So it's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So 4th of July, try to do that. But I'm gonna go ahead real quick with demos and then we will get into our circuit. So first movement here, we are gonna do push-ups with a shoulder tap. So you can either be hands and knees or hands and toes here. And I'm making sure when we're on our getting on the ground, we're going to screw our hands into the ground here, and then from our toes coming down and then tapping one shoulder at a time and then pushing up. So if you need to be on your knees, I'm definitely going to be doing that. So you'll do one arm at a time. So that's our first movement. Then movement number 2, we're going to go ahead and do some squat pulses with a little bit of a jump here. So we're going to start off feet hip width apart here. We're going to do we're going to do 4 pulses going with the theme of 4th of July. So 4 pulses. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 4th one, we're going to jump and land 90 degrees. And then again, 4 and back. So if jumping's not your thing today, no problem. Just go ahead and do 4 pulses and 1 full one. Or you can do 4 pulses and 4 full squats. Again, lots of 4s today. So after that, we're going to go back to our upper body. We're going to do an inchworm with a push-up. Lots of push-ups today, but we're going to be on one side of our space. Push our hips back, walk our hands out into our push-up, and then bringing our feet towards our hands, and then push the ground away. So it's our 3rd movement. And then finally, 4th movement here, we're going to do a triple switch into a single leg RDL. So getting our heart rate up a little bit here. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then push our hips back, push the ground away, and then to the other side, same thing, and back. So that one gets our heart rate up, working on our single leg stability and all that. So that's gonna be our workout for today. So we're gonna do 4 rounds, 4 movements, 40, 20, lots of 4s for 4th of July here. So let's go ahead and get started with our warm up. We're gonna go ahead and come to the top of our space for the world's greatest stretch. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna interlace our fingers, grab onto one of our knees and pull towards our chest. And we're gonna go ahead and exhale, step back, reverse lunge. Hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. Nice big deep inhale. And exhaling, opening up towards the ceiling. Thumb is facing behind us, looking past our hand. And exhaling, planting outside of our front foot. Bringing our back a little bit closer and pushing our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And we're going to go ahead and exhale. Bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So interlace our fingers, grab onto our other leg, pulling our knee towards our chest. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, step back, reverse lunge. Hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg is staying nice and straight. Nice big deep inhale. And exhale, opening up towards our front leg, looking past our hand. Thumb is facing behind us. And exhaling, planting our hand outside of our front foot. Bring our back a little bit closer and pushing our hips up into our hamstring stretch. Really breathe into our tight areas. And then we're going to go ahead and exhale. Bring our feet together. Push the ground away and stand on up. All right. Next part of our warm-up, we're gonna go ahead and do some pike to pike. I know, obviously, we do that every time, so we're gonna go ahead and do that next, and then we're gonna do one more warm-up, and then we'll get into things. So coming onto the ground, onto our hands and toes. When we're ready, pushing our hips up. Let's go ahead, pedal our heels, open up our calves. We gotta get ready for our squats and our squat jumps and pulses. So it's gonna help us be able to get a little bit deeper into the squat, helping our ankle mobility by opening up our calves. And then we can go ahead, push our head in between our arms, opening up our upper back a little bit more. And then we're gonna go ahead and come back down into our plank. We're gonna do a quick few pikes here. So coming up, back down, 2 more coming up, and down, and last one coming up. And then let's go ahead and make our way to our plank, bring our knees gently to the ground. And last thing we're gonna do here, we're gonna do a couple rocks. So a couple quadruped rocks here, opening up our hips and all of that. So let's go ahead. Have our toes right behind our knees here, pointed back. Knees can be hip width or a little bit wider. We're gonna go ahead, inhale, rock back. And then exhale, forward. So we're gonna go ahead and do 4 total. So we got 3 more coming back. And up. 2 more coming back. And up. And last one, rocking back. And forward. All right, that is going to be it for our warm-up. So we are ready to rock and roll. So starting off on the ground, we're doing a push-up with a shoulder tap. We got 4 movements, 4 rounds, 40-20. Happy 4th of July. I'm going to get the timer going here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So either hands and knees or hands and toes, whatever feels better for you today. We're doing 1 push-up. So screw those hands into the ground. Our upper back is nice and flat here. Core is engaged. 1 push-up, 2 taps. So just like everything else, making sure our headlights are blinding the floor. We don't want our hips to be moving with our shoulder taps. It's going to help us use our core a little bit more, really working on our single arm strength here while we are holding up our body with our tap. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, standing on up. 4 pulses into a jump or 4 pulses for full squats. So whatever feels better for you today, if you are jumping or not. 3, 2, 1. So again, feet hip width apart, toes pointed forward. Bringing our hips back. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and jump, landing nice and softly. So we don't necessarily have to jump super high, but as we jump up, we're pushing through our whole foot using our glutes and our quads, jumping up, landing nice and softly. So we want to make sure that as we land, we're here, landing nice and soft. We don't want to land. We don't want to really be making a lot of noise with our feet. We want to make sure that we gather ourselves, protecting our knee joints too. Because when we jump and have straight legs, we're going to put pressure on the knees. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, inchworm with push-up. I did give us a little bit more push-ups today. My arms are pretty sore from all the shoulders we did in boot camp yesterday. 3, 2, 1. So hips go back, arms walking out. 1 full push-up, and then walking our feet towards our hands. I've yet to say walker. Get our hand. I feel like I always say it wrong, but I have yet to say it the wrong way, which I'm probably going to soon. I think I jinxed myself. Beginning our feet as close to in between our hands as we can when we're walking our feet back up. Keeping our core engaged. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Last up, triple switch into our single leg Romanian deadlift. You can always put your toe down to do a kickstand, or you can also skip 3, 2, 1. So if the jumping is a little too much, you can either do a march. So what you could do is you can do a march 1, 2, 3 into a single leg Romanian deadlift. So if jumping is not available to you today, again, no problem. Go ahead and march. So that way we're still working the same muscles. Your heart rate might not elevate as much, and that's okay. We're not only in here to get our heart rate up, but to work on, right, for this one, we're working on our hip flexors, our core strength, stability. 3, 2, 1. All right. That's round 1. We have 3 more today. 3 more to go. I feel like I'm gonna lose count. I should have brought a marker for tallies. Not used to doing 4 rounds, but it's a holiday here next week. 3, 2, 1. I couldn't go without doing a 4th of July theme here. I think the other part too is that the only thing I could think of was fireworks. And that is a little, oh, we should have done that yesterday. Now I think of it. That's okay. So it was going to be a little too long. So I decided to do all the 4s. So we got 4 rounds, 4 movements. This is hurting my knees. All right. Varying, or keep our elbows nice and tight. 3, 2, 1. All right. That last push-up did not work. Okay. 4 squat pulses with a jump. This time I'm going to push off to the other way. It actually doesn't matter. 3, 2, 1. We want to make sure that we're using both of our legs to push off from, which we will if we even go in the same direction. So coming this way, as I'm going to jump, I'm going to really push off my left leg, but then on the way back, I'm pushing off my right. So as we come back, if you go in the same direction, you keep turning. We just want to turn one way and the other way. So we don't want to do a full circle. I don't know if that made sense, but we're doing 4 pulses, 1 jump, 4, and come back. Oof. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, inchworm with a push-up. So starting on one side of our area. Then we're going to do our triple switches, and then we're going to be halfway done. 3, 2, 1. All right. Walk it on out. Making sure as we walk out, our hands are underneath our shoulders. We're keeping our elbows tight. And as we come here to our position where our hands are underneath our feet, making sure our back is flat, we're pushing through our heels. We want to feel that in our glutes, not in our back. So really making sure that we're keeping our core engaged, our glutes are engaged here. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, triple switches or marches, whatever feels better for you today. Of course, I would have made that 4 switches, but we needed to be an odd number to be able to switch our legs. 3, 2, 1. Unless we were just doing 4 and then pausing like we did yesterday, but I decided to throw in the single leg RDL so that way we get our single leg glute and hamstring strength. Yesterday we did a lot of deadlifts, a lot of RDLs, so I just wanted to work on switching and our balance. So really pushing our hips back, making sure as we push our hips back, we're blinding the ground with the headlights on our hips. We're not shifting, we're staying closed. 3, 2, 1. All right. 2 down, 1 to go. I'm gonna grab a mat for this one. My knees are not a fan of the hardwood like that. Okay. Push up with a tap. 3, 2, 1. And I'm doing too many push-ups for it to feel good from my hands and toes. I am not a fan, nor will I ever be, of push-ups. And that's okay, because we still do them. Because it's good to do the things we don't like to do. So that way we get a little better at them. Great job. Keep pushing. Keeping our elbows about 45 degrees here. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Next up, squat pulse with a 90-degree jump. Keep that over there. Oh, this got lightheaded. Okay, we're good. 3, 2, 1. Okay, 4 pulses. So stay nice and low on our pulse. If you notice here too, the inside parts of my knees are right over my second toe. Chest is staying in the middle. Oh, my legs are tired, but we got this. We're doing awesome. 4 pulses. Coming back. Pushing through our whole foot here. And like I said, if we need to just do 4 pulses and 4 full, 3, 2, 1. I don't know why. Getting head rushes here. Okay. Inchworm with a push up. 3, 2, 1. Pardon my yawning. Something getting enough oxygen. Okay. Walking our hands out into our push up. Walking our hands back in. Making sure to, we're not leading with our upper body, we're leading with our legs when we stand back up here. Job. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got our triple switch, and then we got one more round. And then we're gonna do a couple cool down movements. We'll be good to go. So we got triple switches or marches. 3, 2, 1. So we're here. 3. If we need to, again, if we need to put our foot down for a kickstand, we can do that as well. Good job. Leading with our hips, not with our upper body here in our RDL. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, 3 down, 1 to go. Just give up some water here. Last round coming on up. We got our push-up with a tap. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Last round. This workout, I feel like it's flying by because we have only 4 movements. But we're doing 4 rounds for 4th of July. Keeping our hands screwed into the ground here. Back is nice and flat. Exhaling as we come up. Really engaging our core. 3, 2, 1. Okay, done with push-ups. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Up next, we have 4 squat pulses into 1 jump, but we're turning. That's going to help us work on single leg strength, just like with our lateral marches. 3, 2, 1. And by single leg strength, I mean we're pushing off or working on like our, I don't really know what to call it right now. My brain stopped working. Great job. Forward and back. Forward and back. Great job. My legs are already tired. I feel like I'm still trying to recover from yesterday. We did a lot of squats, a lot of lower body yesterday. And then 3, 2, 1. All right. That was a bad one. Okay. Done with those. We got inchworm with push up. Next, we are getting ready. 3, 2, 1. So hips are going back. Walking our hands out. I don't know why I feel so lightheaded. Okay, we're doing great. Walking our hands out. We got this, and then triple switches. And then we're gonna do some quad rocks with our adductor stretch. And then we'll do some child's pose and we'll call it a day. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Last movement, triple switches. Okay, triple switch into single leg RDL. 3, 2, 1. All right. 2, 3. I'll march this one out. Sinking into our hip, acting like we're closing that door behind us. Balance. And has apparently left the building. Great job. We're finishing strong. Really push here. 3, 2, 1. And that is it for today's full circuit. So go ahead, grab a sip of water. Like I said, we are going to be on the ground. We're going to be on our hands and our knees. I'm going to grab my mat again. So coming down onto the ground on our hands and our knees. We're going to open up our hips and our inner thighs a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead on our hands and knees, taking one foot out to the side like a kickstand, keeping our whole foot on the ground. From here, we're going to inhale, rock our glutes towards our heel. And then exhaling back to our starting position. So we're going to go ahead and do that 3 more times here. Inhaling back and forward. Inhaling back. Exhaling forward. And last one, coming back and forward. So we're done with our last one. We can go ahead, bring our knee back up underneath our hip. And then doing the same thing on the other side. So bringing our other leg out to the side like a kickstand. Again, keeping our pinky toe on the ground. We're going to inhale, rock back. Exhale, forward. 3 more, coming back. And forward. 2 more, coming back. And forward. And last one, coming back. And forward. And then after that one, we can go ahead, bring our knee back up underneath our hip. And then we're going to go ahead and finish out with some child's pose. So from our hands and our knees, we can take our knees a little bit wider than hip width. Walk our hands out, bring our glutes towards our heels, forehead, chin, or cheek to the ground. We're going to go ahead and do a few deep breaths here. So I want us to inhale in through our nose, into our bellies. And exhaling, sighing away our tension. I want us to really let our hips sink further to the ground, even let our arms come closer to the ground. So I'm going to be quiet. We're going to do a few breaths here. And let's go ahead and do one more breath here. And as we finish our last exhale, when we're ready, go ahead and gently return back to our hands on our knees. And feel free to stay in a seated, kneeling, or standing position. But that is going to be all the time I have for today. So thank y'all for joining me for our 4th of July workout. Lots of fours, but y'all did great. So thank you so much.